Kristen Leek here. Today I want to share 4 things or 4 ways you can get your first freelance client. And a lot of this is from my personal experience, things I've tried and also things I've heard of. And yeah, so let's make this magic happen. So as you guys know, being a new web developer, web designer, whatever skill you have in tech, like being new and getting your first client, especially working for yourself, is the hardest part and the most important because that's what gets the momentum going. And for my first tip, I want to say that you really need to market yourself as a freelancer, whether it's web design, like I said before, depending on your skill. Like for myself, I was marketing myself as a freelance web developer, and I did this even before I finished coding bootcamp. So when there were a few weeks left in coding bootcamp, a lot of people were talking about places they were applying to, and instead I was talking about freelancing and being self-employed. And so what I would do is I would go to the events that Tech Talent South would have, which was my bootcamp. If you haven't heard about them, Tech Talent South, I have a link of details below in the description box. And so they would have these events for us that helped us networking and meet people in the industry, and a lot of people got hooked up with jobs that way. And I would go to those events and talk about how I was self-employed. I would already call myself a freelancer. I talked as if I've done this before, had clients, and I didn't say I already had clients, but I was very confident, and that's what you need to do. You need to have confidence and speak with passion, and people will remember that. And oftentimes you may not get a client immediately right off the bat, but over many months you will end up getting a phone call or email from someone who said that, oh, such and such said that you are a freelancer and I really need that service right now. Would you like to do a call or get coffee and talk about what you do so I can see your work and so forth. So that is a huge part of it, and it definitely helped me get some of my current clients, although not my first client, but current clients, and it is possible to help you with your first. And also my last tip is to make sure you go to entrepreneur meetup events, not just to educate yourself about what it's like being an entrepreneur, but to meet other people, because many new or rising entrepreneurs need websites or they need freelance services that you can definitely provide. My second tip kind of ties into the previous one, but it's to tell everyone what you're doing. Not just people in your industry, but tell your friends, tell your families, tell your acquaintances, tell the person you bump into at the grocery store. I don't know. Just always talk about what you do, because there's always someone who needs your services. And this is how I got a lot of my clients, just through word of mouth. So my friend Nick told his mom, who recently retired and she's starting her own art business, and he told her about what I do, and so she ended up calling me. And although it wasn't to actually build her website, she wanted someone to help her get started with WordPress. So I ended up doing some WordPress consulting and sat down with her and just walked her through the steps of it. And that's also another way, like, to build your portfolio, because in essence you are helping them build. And so you pick up jobs and gigs like that through friends. And then also my other experiences with my family, my father is retired, but he still does business consulting on top of working, having his own nonprofit. And what he has done is recommend me to many of the clients that he's had, or even just his colleagues. And that's honestly how I got my very first client, which was a catering company. Trace. Connect with other entrepreneurs and self-employed people. It doesn't have to be in your industry, just in general. And these connections are very useful because people in the entrepreneur world love helping other people. That's what we love to do. And that's, like I said, how word of mouth travels. So really, I guess in essence, what I'm saying in this entire video is that your first client is most likely, more than not, going to be someone you know, or a referral, or a friend of a friend, family friend, so forth. So definitely make friends with other entrepreneurs, other freelancers, other people who have a side hustle, and it doesn't have to be the same industry, because they have clients and their clients will want another need that's not what they're providing. And I actually team up with another friend, my friend Ahmed. Shout out to Ahmed if you're watching this. But Ahmed is a killer graphic designer, and we have teamed up a number of times with clients. He provides logo and branding services. I provide website services. So teaming up has allowed us both to get businesses in that way. Okay, the last tip number 4, use social media. When I started freelancing, I also started providing social media management services, which I do not do today, but I would actively look for social media management clients. And I did this by going on Instagram and browsing people, browse people's Instagrams. And then if it was so-so, or if I knew I could help them, I would send them a DM, AKA direct message. And I would just organically talk to them, just be like, hey, I love your products, I love your work, blah, blah, blah. Just like engage with them. Don't just outright say, hey, I'm a freelance web designer and I can make your website a lot better. I'm a social media manager. I can make your social media pages like all look the best and bring in more money. Like, no, don't pitch them at first. I like to organically grab them, like engage them. And if that is received well, then I will kind of like ask certain questions to see if there's a need for them, and even offer to give them some tips. And I do that by asking for their email address and doing like a little mini audit of their content. And if that's well received, like typically people who really want help, they will outright like tell you and be so excited and just be so flattered that you want to help them. So definitely consider using social media. And lastly, I actually have a bonus for you guys. So number 5 bonus. Woo! My bonus is to consider bartering. And when I say bartering, I mean like if you meet someone, like say you go to an entrepreneur meetup event or just networking event, and they have a service that you're interested in. For instance, my friend Bethany is a photographer and I need some headshots for my website, and she needs a website to put all of her gorgeous work on. Then just make an agreement about that, and that could be an easy way for you to get your first client. Obviously, trading your services will not get you like legit cash, but it's your first client, and like I said, the first client is the hardest and the most important. So I hope that helps you. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or want to share your experience, please comment below in the bottom. I'd love to hear them. And have a fantastic day, guys. Bye.